Claudia. I'm from Meetsales. As you know, Meetsales represents several luxury brands of furniture and also lighting. You are already familiar with our brands. I'm sure of that. So at this point, we would really like to meet you, to know a few things about you and also a few things about your work, if that's okay for you.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. We love what you represent and the brand, and we look forward to having a strong partnership together with both our brands, and having a presence here in Australia.
Yeah, that will be really nice for both. So first things first. The first thing we would really love to know is how did it all started? How did your path started? Where did your passion for the interior design started?
Yeah. So the business is actually, it's a family business, Cocolea, like our surname, so our family name. We started this business 7 years ago, my husband Christian and myself. And the passion came from just having a passion for beautiful luxury things, unique designs that we sometimes struggle to find the variations and the combinations that we envisioned into a finished piece of furniture, particularly here in Australia. And so, we went looking for more, and this is how the business evolved, so that we can create what we have in our imagination to come to life in the beautiful, furniture pieces, and also present the opportunity, as it has in the last 12 months, for the collaboration with, partners like yourselves that also represent and align with our brand strategically and have the same passion. Yeah.
In regards with selecting the brands that you work with, that's probably the most difficult part. For example, when you have a client, when you have a customer, what is the process that you take in order to show him the correct brand and the correct piece that he's looking for? What is the secret behind it?
Well, I mean, absolutely, we have to seek to understand our customers and what inspires them and drives them, what colors, what shapes, what interiors is going to make them feel and inspire them to be themselves and the best version of themselves. And so this is where we seek to understand, and we can complement with your designs the appropriate, products and pieces to match their inspiration and fit them in. And so that sometimes is about design, sometimes is about brand, but sometimes it's, it's about understanding the colors, the textures, the finishes that can inspire them from your beautiful designs and pieces that you have in your collection.
So can we assume that the most difficult part, the biggest challenge within this area is for you to work with the color scheme that the client wants, and then the product range that he's looking for?
Yeah, I think sometimes, the thing is the customers, sometimes they don't, they begin and they don't know the journey of discovery. They don't know quite what they want. So we have to draw out what that is and help them to imagine what the beautiful interior can be, and help them to imagine and bring the space to life. And so sometimes that is with the selection of colors and upholstery and textures. And, and sometimes it could be as simple as using digital techniques and rendering to put combinations and pieces in the real world setting in a digital way that helps them to imagine what it will be like in the end result. And because sometimes it's hard for them to envision and see that end result. So we really have to bring all of those pieces together of the puzzle to help put it all together and inspire them and bring them on that journey of, of what the package of that beautiful interior that brings their passion to realization.
Yeah, of course. When, for example, In your opinion, as a professional, which room in the house do people value the most, if there's any?
Well, definitely, more and more the open environment of the living and the kitchen, that one combined space, that open living is, that is, I guess the heart of most people's homes where they spend the most time.
Yeah.
And so that has to be the most comfortable, useful, versatile. Equally, it has to be beautiful and inspire them, because that's what it's all about. And especially now, more and more, as we've seen in the last 12 months, people are spending more time in their home, and they're actually realizing how important the ambience and the atmosphere and the environment, that having a beautiful home with all of the beautiful things that surround them, and what powerful impact that can actually have on their productivity, on their connection with their family, with their friends, and just the flow of the home. So it's even more important, I think, now than ever, to bring that all together in a beautiful but also versatile and usable space.
Yeah. Do you also agree with the clients that the living areas, like the common areas, should be the one to be decorated first when you have a full house project, for example?
I think, absolutely, the pieces which are the hero pieces, the most special pieces, this is where we would encourage them and inspire them to have those pieces featured there, because this is where they're going to actually get inspired day to day and realize their passion and their inspiration. And it's going to have an effect on their mood, the ambience, when they have their social gatherings and functions. Although, if you look at the traditional back in the day in the formal living rooms, you have that just for special days. I think gone are those days. We want to use every day the most beautiful of areas, and there's no limits anymore. You want to have those areas in function, and it's not just for the special occasions. You want to live and breathe and experience the beauty every single day.
Yeah, I think that even more people want to feel at home and not to have a fully decorated house to show to other people. They need to have the
They want to
items to
enjoy
feel
for
themselves.
themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. And what they're enjoying day to day, it is so beautiful and functional that when they're friends and they have this social functions, that everything just flows perfectly. And, they have even more of an appreciation of that space.
Yeah, and I think that if you feel well, if you feel comfortable inside your own house, you will be even more welcoming to your friends and to your invitations. So yeah, I think that
Absolutely.
people are starting to lose that idea that the living room needs to be perfect only for friends and for invitations and parties and stuff like that.
Yeah,
The living room needs to be fully comfortable for the ones that own that area.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think
So
the other thing that we are seeing as well is um, people really, going back to nature and to feeling more comfortable with textures and,
mhm.
feeling connected to touching, feeling, whether it's feeling about colors and having experiencing a little bit more with colors, with textures, they want to feel connected. And, and that's really exciting and it's really fun as well to bring that into an interior space. And it's not, potentially the whole living room, but just touches here and there.
A few
Um,
details.
and that's definitely a more important consideration, whether it's about shapes as well, bringing some natural shapes and flows and just, all of those things. I think people are seeing that are more and more important and they want to incorporate into the interior.
If you need, imagine that you have a client and he wants to have, for example, two items that are really a statement item. If you need to select two key pieces that will make the difference and that you think that are really worth investing in, which pieces would that be?
Oh, well, I mean, from the Meetsales collection, if we are sort of encompassing your overall, products that you can offer, I think, the Shala chair is definitely, a piece which is, for example, for that open living dining, has an amazing impact. It has great comfort. It has different options for fabric and finishes, and it's just such a versatile, luxurious, sophisticated piece. It's definitely a must-have in the collection. And then the other piece that we feel is an essential is the Eden center table, whether it be in a side table or what configuration, but that brings an absolute luxury, but also it brings a connectedness with nature, with its raw design, and texture. And I think that is a great representation of luxury, but also connectedness with nature and color and texture. And I think for us, they would be two of the key pieces that we routinely recommend.
Yeah, the Eden is also one of my favorites. I mean,
Yeah,
because it can be an organic piece because it's related to the nature as you look at it, but it's
yeah,
it's
yeah,
still that glamorous piece. It's still a
absolutely.
statement item. So yeah, I also agree with you
It
on that.
and it
It also,
provokes a reaction in anyone who sees that piece, your guest, your it's definitely a talking point for the room.
yeah, it's really really amazing. Um, Is there any interior design style that you don't like? If you need to select a favorite one, which one would that be? And if you want to avoid a style, which one would that be as well?
That's a tricky question to answer
Yeah.
without, maybe offending some styles. And, look, I'm going to be honest with you. So here in Australia, and I think, we have a European background, but here in Australia, there is a trend for some people to be very safe. And what I mean by safe is they're having a lot of light grays in the interior. So everything from the sofa to floors, and that's safe, and and that's okay. But I think that doesn't that's not an interior with personality, and it may inspire some people, but I think it also leaves a lot to be desired. So I
Yeah.
think you should not be afraid to play, be yourself in your interior, and have your surroundings represent who you really are, and not make your space please other people, but please you. And because you are yourself in your space, then your a genuine nature, and you will present yourself much better, as you mentioned before. So we are not a favorite of being safe. I think you need to choose how you're going to do that, and I think you just need to make sure that whatever you're doing, that you are doing it for yourself, and that's a true representation of what you truly inspires you and brings you happiness and beauty in your interior.
Yeah, there's no need to be afraid to show what you like and to show who you
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely. And, look, Scandinavian style with a lot of grays and a lot of that sort of safe, it's okay if you have piece here or there, but if your whole, every room is decorated like that, I mean, that's very safe, but it's maybe not going to be the most
Yeah.
inspiring place.
Yeah, it
and
doesn't.
and that's a really common style with some here in Australia. Certainly, we would not encourage that necessarily to be a predominant interior fit out in anybody's home.
Yeah, but I think that what matters is to have people like you and Christian that are trying to break the system, that are trying to change it and to
Yeah,
inspire people to show who they are and to give their personal touch to their own houses. So I think this is what really matters, to have some people
yeah.
trying to do that, to make a change.
That's right. And I think sometimes as well, breaking down the stereotypes, because we often find, for example, we'll have clients and they've always dreamed about having this beautiful velvet lounge, for example. But they're like, I couldn't possibly have that because I have children and they would spoil it. You know, what people don't realize is actually how versatile a fabric, a good quality velvet can be. And you can have children and you can have spaghetti bolognese and, you know,
Yeah.
you can wipe it off. And people, you don't have to just look at it, but there's a lot of stereotypes around with certain fabrics and finishes. And, you know, we've got to help people to understand and to break that down and give them the confidence to be able to incorporate those styles safely and with comfort and to enjoy them in their own home.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Um, Now, on a different area that you already talked about earlier, has this current situation, I mean, the COVID pandemic situation, do you think that this benefited or harmed the interior design area with this all of these restrictions and we all know that the consequences that it already has?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think you know, for a short time, it obviously it's had an impact on people's confidence to purchase, and that's just been simply because the economic situation. They're not sure, are they going to have their jobs in the next 6 months, and you know, how long is the lockdown going to go for, and all of that. But I think people now, they've come to terms with that life goes on, and if things will get better. And what we saw is that certainly actually people realize that the home is even more important to furnish, to feel good, and to make that a sanctuary and to make that be the best place possible. And so I think that in the long term, it's actually been a real positive thing for the industry, because people are really realizing how important it is to have beautiful things, furnish your home, and make it the best place that it can be. Whereas I think before, you know, people were busy. They were away from their home, working 8 hours a day. And, you know, I mean, that sofa they had for so many years, you know, it was like, well, that'll do. I'm only on that sofa for so many hours, you know, every day. But
Yeah.
now they're at home, they're in their spaces, and it's, you know, they actually desire that they want the best environment possible. So I think that in the long term, it has been a positive. Of course, there's been the short-term implications, but if we can get through that part, I think that you know, people will have a better appreciation of their surrounding spaces, and a greater desire to invest more and have these beautiful pieces, lifetime pieces, for their homes to enjoy.
Darina, since you were referring earlier with the COVID situation, do you think that this situation had a good or a bad impact in the area, in the interior design area?
I think in the short term, of course, there was some negative impact because the economic situation, the lockdown, this was reducing, you know, consumer confidence to purchase. They were definitely looking, thinking to purchase, having the desire to furnish their homes, but feeling like they're held back because of, you know, seeing the pandemic unfold, and you know, and not being sure what actually that involves for them, and the confidence that things will be okay. And I think now everyone has realized, you know, we are dealing with it. Life goes on, and they've also realized in the process of being in the lockdowns, working predominantly from home, the importance of having a beautiful home, and feeling good, and having, you know, luxury pieces, lifetime pieces, statement pieces, and having a home which inspires you, which flows well, where you can have the good interaction with your family, with your social circle, all of those things, how important they are, and how important the home is. Whereas I think before we didn't have such a deep appreciation because we spent many hours of the day at work, and you know, many people would go on and continue their you know, having the pieces that they've had for many years, and say, you know, I'm going to wait a while, Whereas now the importance of having a beautiful environment, one that inspires you, that flows in an optimal way, has never been more important. And they've come to realize that because of the pandemic and the situation of being at home and working from home. And I don't think that's a situation of, working from home. I think that things in the future, there's going to be a mix, and they will continue to a high degree. So I think people are really coming to terms with that and taking pride in their home. And so I think in the long term, it will be a positive impact for the industry, but it will take some time. And, certainly in Australia, we had in Melbourne some of the toughest restrictions in the world. We came out of that, and things are really booming, and people are dying to make their homes beautiful, to purchase, and they really have a new and found appreciation.
Yeah, because I think that even though this is a really bad situation for everyone, I think that this made people to be more at home and to starting to understand better their real needs. So I think that in the
Absolutely.
end, it will be good, not also for the interior design area, but also for people themselves. I mean, they will start to value more what they have and their houses. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think also that before, where they would be tempted to invest in pieces that are quick turnover, like pieces that are in fashion for 6 months, 5 minutes. Now they really appreciate to have an investment in a piece that they have for a lifetime, and that is never going to go out of fashion. And it's not about being in trend for this season. It's about the beauty of a lifetime and how that piece inspires and what it represents. And people are thinking more about the meaning behind how the product is produced, where it's produced, the design, the process. They have a true appreciation, more so than before. I think before people were more ignorant of all of these facts.
Yeah, people now are starting to value more the quality and how the item is made.
Yeah.
So in these troubled and difficult times, once again, what advice can you give to those who enjoy decorating a home like you, to those who share the same passion?
Oh, that's that's a tricky question. I think you've got to think what is important for you and what inspires you. And, is it about how you entertain people? You like to entertain people in your home, and what is the best environment, the flow, the pieces? How will you be able to achieve those goals if that's your aim? If you like to be comfortable and just enjoy with your family, how will you best achieve that? Because that's what's most important. So I think it's really defining what is most important and how will you actually be able to achieve that. I don't know if I've answered your question entirely.
Yeah, it did. In a more personal side to ourselves, you already work with some of our brands like Boca do Lobo, Bravo, Luxo, and so on. Why did you choose those brands? What make you look at us twice and think I want to work with these guys?
I think from the way that Cocolea and our background is, we also Eastern European, and we love color, we love texture, and we love something different that incites a conversation. And one of the things that really for us attracted us to the group of brands, like yourselves, like Luxo and like Boca do Lobo, Bravo, these brands, is about the fact that there is a point of distinction. You cannot find these pieces everywhere and anywhere, and they don't resemble another piece, and they have the character to stand out above the rest and to set the trends, whether it be in design, in color, in use of materials. using nature to inspire. And, we can see that in the Eden table, but in many, many other pieces. And, all of those points of distinction, which really set the brands apart from anything else that is really out there, for us is something that we truly appreciate and we want to be a part of and aligns with our brand, because here in Australia, we are not, we're not making furniture for the masses. We never want to do that. What we want to do is be able to find out and inspire people and bring their dreams to a reality in their home and make them happy. And, not everybody appreciates these aspects of color and texture in the way that we do. Some people, they want the same as their friends and, the person next door and so on and so on. We're not about that. We want something different. We want to cause a stir and a conversation. And most of these pieces, you love it or you hate it, but you can't, you have to stop and you have to look and you have to talk about it, and that's what we want. We want something different, and that truly aligns and inspires us, from materials to design, to upholstery. Everything about the brands is, truly aligned with our strategy and our brand and the way that, we want to have Cocolea.
Thank you for the feedback about our brands. You basically said it all. One of our main goals is to inspire, to set trends, to inspire the interior design fans, to change our clients and partners' lives with our items. So I think that you pretty much described pretty well what we are trying to achieve and to do inside our group of brands. So yeah, thank you for the feedback. Imagine, and this one is probably the most tricky one, if you needed to select one of our brands to be your favorite, which one would be?
Well, look, I would have to say probably Boca de Lobo, just because, the Eden, the Fortuna, this character, the brass, the finish, this is, one of the pieces which first attracted us. And I think that some of those elements are replicated in the various pieces, the brass forms that you see in some of the seating, and in some of the other pieces like the La Pia's center tables, the brass details in the consoles and all of that. And we love gold. We love working with brass and just having those unique touches and details. And so probably that would be our most favorite, but not excluding any of the other brands. Because I think that, there's those elements coming through in all of the brands in different forms. And, and that's why we have selected a number of the brands in the group that we want to align with, because they truly represent all of those things that we appreciate and aspire with Cocolea.
That's nice. I had a feeling that you would go with Boca de Lobo, but I just wanted to be sure that I was right. I know that you are a huge fan. I am as well, so this will be our little secret. All of the brands that we
the lighting, lighting is absolutely amazing. And we really, the lighting definitely stand out.
It's really, really nice. Thank you. All of the brands that we represent, especially the ones that we mentioned before, those are brands that truly value the design, but most of all, we are trying to value the craftsmanship. Do you think that this is something that your clients value even more? Or is there something else that they would prefer rather than the craftsmanship factor?
And this is, I think, a question where you have to decide where you want to play, right? you probably can't make 100% of people happy. And I think that the people appreciate the designs represented in the brands, part of Meetsales. I think these are the people that they will always appreciate the craftsmanship. And, you can't compromise the craftsmanship and have that result with a discounted price, like a reduced price, for example, because it takes time, it takes skill, and it's a process to get that result, to get that piece made to be the way that it is. So sometimes people are shocked. We tell them, they inquire, and we may not hear from them, or sometimes we get some funny replies, but it's not for everyone. And I think those that truly they understand and they appreciate what goes into it, they can appreciate the piece for what it is, and and that's who we need to connect with. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, it's not for every type of public. I agree with you on that as well.
These techniques as well, it's not, you can't make such a table anywhere in the world. And, the combination of having the wood veneer with the brass workmanship, these are not easy things to do. And I think people, now that they're starting to appreciate more and more, and actually they're quite educated with, the power of the World Wide Web, and they're looking into things themselves and how things are done, they're coming to appreciate these things more and more, and actually value the products for what they are.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I truly hope that even more people will start to value the handcrafted work, and to value this type of items in the future. I hope that we can work even more in our cooperation, and to be able to show to your clients, and also to our clients based in Australia, what we are trying to do and who we are trying to reach. So sharing the same goal and the same vision is something that I truly believe that will make a difference from now on.
I agree.
And now, last but not least, the question that everybody wants to know on our side: what's next? What's next for Cocolea? What will be your next step?
So, for us, our vision for the long term is to make, a part of our brand and portfolio is the building of luxury accommodation, which will actually showcase and incorporate pieces from the brands, pieces also from our own designs, and also from our new art brand as well, which encompasses some really cool artwork called Cool as Fox art, which means fire, and bring it all together in this luxury accommodation in the Spa Centre here in Melbourne, about 2 hours away from the city of Melbourne. And we want to make just a unique experience where people, they can come and they can stay, they can enjoy, and then if they enjoy and they desire, they can have these beautiful pieces in their own home, to enjoy for a lifetime. So we want to provide them with that opportunity to enjoy nature and to enjoy beautiful pieces before they have it in their own home, but to see how it can all be put together. And so that's, for us, what we're looking at in the next, 5 years is to build this vision and encompass and showcase everything in a collective offering in this luxury accommodation.
That sounds really, really good. I mean, it's different than what we are used to see. So I think that it will really work well, because you will have the best of both worlds. You will have the accommodation, you will give people the experience, and also be able to show them the amazing items from the brands that you represent. So I think that it's the best of both worlds. I mean, congratulations on that idea. I hope that it goes really, really well.
Thank you.
it has everything to go well. I mean, you have the idea, you have the vision, so you just need to chase your dream. I mean, that's what life is about.
Absolutely. That area is an area where it's all about art and inspiration, and it's about relaxing and enjoying the nature, and and getting pampered. But there is no such thing in the area like with that concept and those type of pieces and that collection, and bringing everything together in the one space in the way that we have envisioned. And so we want to bring that to Melbourne. We want to bring that to Australia. And it's an area where people come from all over Australia to come and visit. And we want them to be able to get immersed in that experience and have the joy and the pleasure of enjoying those pieces, even if it is for a little while, but then be able to take that experience home with them and be able to purchase those pieces if they wish to.
Yeah, because I mean, one thing that most people need to do before moving forward with our items or with items within the same segment is to feel them, to see them. So you will be able to give them the experience of living with those items.
That's right.
So yeah, it will be like a test drive, a longer test drive than going to a store, sitting on that chair and purchasing it. It will be a longer test drive. I mean, yeah, I'm really, really excited about this idea and this project. I think it will work pretty well.
Thank you. As are we. So we look forward to the new chapter.
Hopefully really soon. Dorina, I have everything on my side. Thank you so much once again for doing this with us, for giving us the opportunity to know you a bit better, and Cocolea as well.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome. I'm really looking forward to keep on working with you, me and also my colleagues that are already in contact with you as well. We really look forward to keep on seeing Cocolea growing and to follow your entire steps throughout this magnificent project that you are doing with the accommodation thing. We'll keep in touch, and
thank
you so much once again.
That's great. Thank you so much, Claudia.
Thank you,
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.